Sandra. Abattoir, Hollywood, frozen friends. Let's just check your DM. Second with the down. You know you are king. I say Bunala, money was. You said the middle Zanzibar. Fubazuka, Uala, Ua, Hostile, Jajua.
Welcome back, fellas. Long time no see. Episode 58, season 3. How y'all doing, man?
Chilling, doing all right.
Can y'all hear me? Testing mic check 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, we hear you.
Can y'all hear me?
No.
When that Drew talk, you know he's full of shit out there. No.
That's good. No.
How y'all been, man?
Been good, man.
Ain't good. We worried about you, brother.
Well, I'm okay, man. Okay. On the right side of the dirt, blessed and highly favored. Well, let's get right into it, man. A few things have happened since we last met. One thing I did kind of want to talk about was, I'm not sure if you guys heard about this. Well, let me play the video before we get into it.
Just, yeah, look, $11,000. She was 26 anyway. She had limited value. I don't think she was thrown 40 feet either. I think she went up on the hood, hit the windshield, then when he hit the brakes, flew off the car. But she is dead. Yeah, just write a check. Just, yeah, look, $11,000. She was 26 anyway. She had limited value. I don't think she was thrown 40 feet either. I think she went up on the hood, hit the windshield, then when he hit the brakes, flew off the car. But she is dead. Yeah, just write a check. Just.
I mean, that's very disturbing to hear him talk about human life like that. It's disgusting me. I know it happened in January, but the video just came out a few weeks ago. It's just wrong, man. To think that that's even funny or something that you should say. What are y'all thoughts?
I mean, don't like. My thing is, you know, you have your body cam on at all times. Like, I wouldn't even be talking the same way that I talk to you every day, knowing I'm being recorded. Just having like that level of conscious, let alone the fact of it being morally right or wrong. It's just like having the IQ that you are always being watched when you're on the clock.
Yeah. It's hard for me, man. You know what I mean? Because it always comes down to it, bro. Like we pay taxes. These supposed to be serve and protect. You know what I mean? You got people who sit out here who blindly be like, oh, blue lives matter, da. And I'm all for civil servants. I got friends that are firemen, you know what I'm saying? Police officers, stuff like that. There's always good people. Like, they all can't be bad, but it'd be like, nah, they all can't be good either. And that's just a small window, man. The police are like a brotherhood, bruh. You know what I'm saying? They like a gang too, bruh. So Um, just is what it is, man. Like it's terrible, it's trash. But I mean, I'm not surprised or shocked. This is typical of American culture and the police. So, just another American update. The more shit changes, the more shit stays the same. Back to you, Bola, in the studio.
Well, let's get right into football. A lot of people have been talking Deion Sanders, Colorado. Big game today, 3 p.m. Eastern. My question for you fellas is, do you believe, does Colorado continue this streak and take down Oregon?
I believe. I'm a believer. And I love it because he's shown, and this is kind of a nice transition from the police brotherhood. I believe we have a brotherhood in college football coaching as well,
Okay.
where these good old boys, they get the job and move up, blah, blah, blah. And people like Deion haven't had the opportunity, and he's disrupting everything. He's showing he could show up, he knows football, and he can coach just as good as them. There's good old boys down in the SEC, the Les Miles, all these bullshit, coaches down there. And yeah, I love it. I'm gonna keep riding the wave. I think they're definitely gonna cover the plus 21 point spread, even though their best player might be out. Oh yeah.
You're shaking your head, Drew. You don't agree?
Oh no, I shake my head because how can a team that's also ranked be a 21-point underdog in college football? So that's just the disrespect right there. Like as far as gambling goes, I would only hope that the game is in Oregon if the spread is that wide. Correct?
It is, yes. It's an away
Okay.
game for them.
Exactly. So to me, I guess it's just more, yeah, the game is away. If they can go into Oregon and win, that'd be crazy. But what I try to let people know is I was like, football is an hour-long game, right? And it's a whole season that you build on, right?
Mm-hmm.
These teams are both ranked. So I think they're 10 and 18, 10 and 19 or something like that. So let's just say we get to a point let's say Oregon does win the game, but at some point Colorado's up 14-0, 17-6. You know what I'm saying? They're up, considerably in the game at some point and then end up losing the game. That's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
to me, it's a win-win for Colorado because it's not going to be a 21-point blowout.
Okay.
So to me, it's a win-win, and it's just gonna like Dane said, bro. It's just gonna continue to highlight that you don't have to fit that typical mold for a college coach. You know what I'm saying? And be successful. You can speak to these kids. You know what I'm saying? And be different and be prime time, man.
Okay.
The game ain't prime time, but it is prime time. Oh yeah, and then with the player being out, Hunter, I know it's going to be tough, but I feel like that for college, I feel like that type of stuff rallies the kids. You know what I mean? That's why I prefer college basketball. It's because they play their hearts out. So I feel like that's going to bring the heart out of them kids. You know what I'm saying? This ain't some pro shit.
I agree with y'all. Just watching how they came back, almost losing the game last week against Colorado State. They've proved that they, have that it factor, especially when their back's against the wall. They could have gave up that game. They played terrible in the first half, came back the second half, and I think that game went to double overtime, right? That was a hell of a game that really showed me that, this is a team to watch. So I'm curious to see how they play, especially because they're on the road and they don't have their, wide receiver. So we'll see what happens. I'm rooting for them though. Happy story. Happy he's doing his thing. I know there was a lot of discussion on whether or not Deion should have left Jackson State. It's safe to say he made the best decision doing so now, and I'm hoping for a good game.
What I think also is interesting is
Yeah.
that I feel like it's setting up perfectly for him to join the SEC or possibly the ACC in some capacity because Colorado's joining the Big 12. I don't think Deion will want to be in the Big 12. You know what I mean? Well, Colorado's coming back to the Big 12, but it's just like I feel like, I think it's like in 2 or 3 years. So I feel like he's gonna do his thing here, win some titles, maybe make a playoff or two. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, and then he can. I think he's gonna qualify and jump up. And then some people talking crazy shit. They talk about if Mike McCarthy don't do his thing, he gonna fuck around and coach the Cowboys.
Mm. I don't think he leaves college. I think he enjoys coaching the kids, even though there will be some young players on the Cowboys. I think he enjoys that nurturing, mentoring them at an early age.
Oh no, I agree, but that's just what people talk
People
about.
have been
You know what I
saying,
mean?
yeah.
And if that, like, imagine Dion comes back to the Cowboys, and you know what I'm saying? What takes the Cowboys to a Super Bowl?
But I mean, you have to remember that his son is the quarterback, so he may, his son's probably going to stay another year at Colorado. That weighs in on his decision too. But
Oh no,
the door seems wide open for a lot of avenues, but I think a lot of his immediate decisions will be based on his son's future.
oh no, and that's definitely why I think it's gonna be based off Colorado status being in the Pac-12, being able to go up against USC, Oregon, uh, Colorado. You know what I'm saying? Some of these bigger programs, the Washington States, the Washingtons. I mean, he gets to get these big games in now, while the Pac-12 is still the Pac-12, and then once that kind of disbands, he's gonna make whatever move is best for him, whether it be so I think he'll probably do Big Ten or SEC, ACC. I mean, maybe go back to Florida State. Let's say Florida State doesn't do well, he could step in at Florida State, go to his alma mater. I mean, something like that. You just never know. Because I knew that when he was leaving Jackson State, Florida State was talking about getting him.
Hmm. I hope he stays in Colorado though, even if and after his sons leave. I hope he stays a little bit.
I think that's right. I
I
feel
don't
like
think he will with them writing him parking tickets and whatnot, which makes no sense to me. But I hope he
damn,
does
doing
stay.
that.
Did y'all hear about that?
I
No.
saw that.
What's
I
this
mean,
that you posted? Ice Spice brother, best high school in my opinion right now, or in New York.
I know we're wrapping up the college segment, but it's just funny that with all the Ice Spice drama, people know her brother is the #1 high school quarterback recruit in New York right now, New York or New Jersey. So just random fact. Ice Spice fans out there, I got you.
What's his name? Spice.
I don't know. I feel sorry for him. That's all I
Slushy
know.
Spice. That's shit crazy. I'm surprised why people haven't said that. Like, who does she think she is? A Spice Girl? You know what I'm saying? Where do these people come from? And they just take names like Little Nas X, Ice Spice. Like, who is y'all, bro?
On that note, let's move on to the next topic, which I've been waiting on. The Bears. What should we start at? Start at with that, Dane. What's the first topic to mind?
What it's I want to revert back to all my opinions over the summer that the Bears will be garbage, and this is a dumpster fire. The D coordinator quit. There's rumors I was checking this morning that the FBI was at his house and stuff. Those have been debunked, but no one really knows why he's quit exactly. It's only week 3 coming up. I guess he quit in week 2. Someone broke into the stadium, stole $100,000 worth of equipment.
Wow.
I think it was a group of people. Justin Fields has called out the coaching staff, and then, frankly, I mean, the team is just so bad you can't make an analysis about anyone's play. Like if you put Mahomes, giving a preview of the Bears Chiefs next week on the Bears, I don't think there's a single player, quarterback in the NFL that could come to the Bears and do a good job. That's how bad the team is.
I was very disappointed when I saw that first game. And I was like, okay, I'm not even gonna watch any more games, man. Like we beat the Packers without Aaron Rodgers, man. Like, what's going on here? But it is what it is, when in doubt, the Bears will disappoint you. So hopefully they get to turn it around.
Here's the thing about all of this is that I was the person who was actually probably the most pro Bears on this podcast. So I have to kind of eat my words. I was optimistic. While I don't believe in Matt Eberflus, I thought that I don't know, the youth on the team, on defense especially, played well. I thought, in my head, if Justin Fields could do that with Keith Sweat on his team, I mean? I can imagine what y'all can do with a couple linemen, a couple guys you add. I mean, Chase Claypool ain't the best, but you at least add somebody. You know what I'm saying? You get a couple more people, da-da-da-da. You still got Cole Kmet, who's decent. You bring in the Roshan Johnson, you know what I'm saying? You still got Khalil Herbert. Darnell Mooney, you bring in DJ Moore to give him an actual wide receiver. You know what I mean? It's like the Bears did the things that they were supposed to do to try to facilitate his progression. And at least through 2 games, it's just I don't know if I can say it's worse than last year, but I think I think I saw something. What is it? Y'all are trying to avoid your first 0-3 start since 2016. So I mean, it's even been a while since it's been this bad because normally y'all are still the Bears. You know what I mean? The Bears are one of the pillars of football franchises. You know what I mean?
This is true.
In the top third, you know what I'm saying? 13 or 14 franchises all time, no matter what. So it's just like you would just think that it would come together, and it just hasn't yet. And now y'all have to run into the Chiefs. And this is probably the first time in a long time. Oh, little known fact, the Chiefs and the Bears have only played each other like 13 times ever. It's a very rare occasion. So the fact that it's happening all this week is just kind of wild. So I'm glad we got the opportunity to hop on here and talk about it. Yeah, y'all are playing the defending champions, my team. I've never felt worse about, you know what I'm saying, my prediction, but obviously I predict we win, but I don't feel good about it. It's crazy, man. Like it's like you said, this is I mean, y'all ain't the Cardinals, but it's not looking good right now.
What do you think, Dane? Who do you think is going to win the game?
I think the Chiefs win. I think it's a lose-lose for them because they are expected to win. And God, if someone gets hurt during that game playing the garbage Bears,
Exactly.
that's horrible.
It won't seem worth it.
And I think the Bears did not do everything for Justin Fields' success. I mean, here's the point. They've had the team is so shitty. They drafted Mitch Trubisky. So you got the maybe they were good, or Mitch was so bad and they couldn't develop him. They did everything they could. Well, now you got another blue chip quarterback, top 10 draft pick, and you're fucking it up with him too. So I don't think it's there's some blame started. Oh, Justin Fields not making his reads. No, we're gonna stop doing that. We're gonna stop doing that. It's the coaching. Their offensive line is one of the worst in the league, and no one can be good. The line is so bad. I'm a full believer. If you put Patrick Mahomes out there, he would be the worst quarterback in the NFL with that Bears whole line and the offensive coordinator. That's how bad this shit is.
It's that bad.
It's that bad.
Well, I'm interested to see. I was just, as you guys were talking, I was looking at their website, and it says that they added a guy on defense, Greg Stroman, that may make a difference. So I'm just interested to see, just looking for some positives. I don't want to be just negative Nancy on here talking about how bad they are. So we'll see what he does, man.
The defense, here's the thing. The defense is young. It's full of playmakers, guys who I think will be solid veterans in this league. That's kind of the cool part about being a shitty team for a while is you get a lot of good defensive players, a la the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
They were shitty for almost, you know what I'm saying, since 2001 have been shitty and have been getting first grade guys. You know what I mean? And it was a part of their Super Bowl run. So sometimes when you sit around and get just a bunch of young, good guys on defense, it can work out in the long run if you can figure out the offensive side through offensive lineman free agency, through decent draft picks and steals running backs, wide receivers late, stuff like that. So, I mean, they're not doing everything, but they're following the formula. You know what I mean? The try to get better formula. They
I
trying.
don't think they are. I mean, we haven't been good since they fired Lovey Smith, who had a 10-6 record. So we're going back. I mean, I'm talking to cousins, family members who are like, I don't want to have my son or daughter grow up without seeing the Bears good. It's been like a decade. And I hear them. I'm almost ready to convert. I'm trying to convert to a New York team, but that's not possible because they're just as shitty. So yeah, it's bad right now. Bears fans,
Well,
bear
if I may say, I think they win this game, but we'll see.
Oh, I hope so. Then we could talk shit to Drew for a whole year. That would be amazing.
Dude, why you look
Uh,
at me like I'm crazy, man?
well, because we already had that game. That was our Lions game, so we're not gonna have that game twice in 3 weeks. The game, you know what I'm saying? The game where we just make
Hey,
shitty
I'm just
mistakes.
wishful thinking, man. I'm hoping for the best.
No,
That's all
but you
I'm
know what I'm
saying.
saying? Like, oh, we made shitty mistakes and played down to the level of our opponent. We already did that shit. You know what I'm saying? So like it's just like he said, pending injury, it's just gonna be one of them games. Like I didn't even list it in the telegram as one of those games. Like, hey, does everybody want to watch this game? Like anybody trying to watch my team this week?
Okay, moving on. Next topic. Let's talk about week 2 recap, week 3 predictions of the NFL. Any games stood out to you guys?
Uh we'll start with this one. Chargers. I think it's Chargers at Minnesota, and they're both 0-2.
Okay.
Even though Kirk Cousins is the number one quarterback in fantasy right now, and the Chargers are the only team with they're the only team to score 50 points and have no turnovers and be 0-2 in like the last, I think they said 70 years or something like that. One of 5 teams.
Okay.
So the Chargers need a win. The Vikings need a win. This is a division they're supposed to be competing with Detroit for. You know what I mean?
That's gonna be a really good game. I think high scoring.
That's gonna be like that game's gonna be great. I know that much.
Patriots, Jets, maybe? No, they don't have Aaron Rodgers, right? So,
That's the
Um,
opposite game. That's gonna be the field goal frenzy.
yeah.
but that game's good. But that game's good because New England's 1-1, and the Jets are, I believe, 0-2. Or no. New England's 0-2. So, because the Jets beat the Bills, so the Jets are 1-1. New England's 0-2. The New England's got to win to stay on track. Atlanta at Detroit. That's interesting because Atlanta's 2-0, and Detroit's 1-1, so they got to win. So that'd be a good one too.
That's just. I mean, we know Atlanta's gonna run,
Mhm.
and if Detroit can stop the run, then we know they can't pass. So
Well,
Uh,
just looking at that matchup, it says here that the Falcons running back Cordero Patterson is injured, and their
oh,
quarterback is also questionable.
yeah, he's third string now anyway. So I don't think that has too much of an impact on their game script. And shout out to those fantasy bums who drafted him.
yeah. Oh yeah. We appreciate you.
I like
New Orleans at Green Bay. They got to go to Lambeau, and the Saints are 2-0.
that's gonna be a great game. I think Saints pulled that one out.
Both are the Sunday night games. Steelers Raiders. That's always an interesting game.
Steelers D. That steel curtain's looking like it might be back a little bit.
And then the 2 Monday night games. You got the Super Bowl 56 rematch. LA at Cincinnati.
Great.
LA's 1-1. Cincinnati's 0-2. So that's important on Monday Night Football. And then you got
Joe Burrow's out, right?
Joe Burrow might be out, and then you got Eagles at Tampa. They're gonna be down the street from my house. Monday Night Football, and they're both 2-0. So that's gonna be interesting.
Baker's had a cupcake ride past 2 weeks, so Eagles should win that one.
Yeah, Eagles are definitely winning, but it's still gonna be interesting to watch. Yeah, man. Monday Night Football. So there was another one.
Cleveland, Tennessee. I think.
Yeah, Tennessee at Cleveland. That's gonna be interesting.
It should be.
They've said Kareem Hunt is playing, but Jerome Ford is starting just because obviously he knows the playbook. But the fact that Kareem Hunt could walk in off the street and immediately be the number 2 It simply proved that Kareem Hunt is really going to be the number one. So also shout out to anybody who drafted Kareem Hunt.
The one thing interesting about that in Tennessee, people often overlook it, is that they've had a top run defense for like the past 5 years.
Yeah.
And I think that's just exciting because it's going to put the pressure on Deshaun to throw. And let's just see, we can see all his mechanics and all those weapons at use, see how that looks.
He going to have to deal with Davis, Stonehands, and Joku.
Bola's cousin.
That's how you feel. I try to get him this year too for fantasy.
A hidden gem of the week might be Jacksonville, Houston.
Well,
Yeah.
that's always going to be spicy just because it's a rival game. And CJ Stroud, between CJ Stroud and Bryce Young, he's looking like the better of the two. So,
yeah, I think it'll be interesting as they started airing it out. And I'm watching the games. That team is a very bad team, and he looks more mature than a rookie quarterback. So I really like what he's been trying to do, at least. But he's not in a very good situation.
I
and
mean,
I think there's one more. What game was it?
did y'all talk about Cowboys Cardinals?
We
Yeah,
can.
anybody? Yeah, we're not worried about that.
I mean, they may go 3-0 if they win this game, right? Cowboys are 2-0.
Oh no. Here it is. Buffalo at I lost it. Buffalo at Washington. Washington's 2-0. Buffalo's 1-1. They got to win, otherwise they'll be 1-2. And Washington could be 3-0.
Sam Howell. How?
Brian Robinson, Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dodson, a healthy Logan Thomas, and a solid Washington defense. Josh Allen is going to have turnovers. If there's a prop bet on if Josh Allen will have one turnover, he will definitely have at least one.
I will never say healthy and Logan Thomas in the same sentence, but
that's funny. Carolina at Seattle could be interesting, but all the other ones we already talked about. It's gonna be a good week. This is actually a pretty good week.
Who's Denver playing? That's the
at Miami.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Miami wins that defense too much.
Everybody talking about, can Russell Wilson keep up with Tua Tagovailoa? I'm like, it's not looking good, bruv. Yeah, he said, I'm in the field still. Fuck Russell.
Any outstanding injuries that stand out to you guys, or should we move on to
Nick Chubb tore his ACL, I think. That's the number one, probably. J.K. Dobbins also tore his ACL, and Rodgers tore his Achilles.
Some defensive guys went down. Cowboys cornerback.
Oh yeah, Trayvon Diggs tore his, I think, MCL, or was it ACL?
He's out for the year, but they got Stephon Gilmore. Look, that's interesting. Cornerback, such an important piece to defense.
Considering he was probably he was the cornerback giving up the least production in the league in like 3 different categories. I think that's going to be different because having Stephon Gilmore in the back end is nice, but if Stephon Gilmore is your number one, he's going to get exposed a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. Who else? Oh, who's the guy? The guy from Pittsburgh. They say he's the new Aaron Donald. The Tampa drafted. He's out. Somebody.
We covered almost all of week 3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick too. Good job.
Anything else we should talk about? Should we jump into the NBA?
What's our overall time at?
We're at 37 minutes, give or take. We're right at the 30-minute mark. We could just do one NBA topic and call it a day if y'all are okay with that, unless there's something else y'all want to talk about.
What were the 2 NBA topics?
The Steven Jackson rant. He kind of just talked about how I'll play it before we discuss it.
Yeah, I'd rather just play that. I'd rather talk about Steven Jackson.
We're not doing fantasy?
We can touch on it. I thought you wanted to wait to the end.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Yeah. Better.
One second.
He said, I thought you wanted to do what you asked me to do.
Tired.
Oh,
Nah, that's the difference between a lot of the champions and y'all. Yeah, y'all made y'all money, but y'all wasn't the best at nothing. Hey, what up, world? We out here in all the smoke in LA doing some epic, right? And I'm tired of seeing it on Instagram coming from basketball players, and that's why a lot of y'all losers. It's no way, if you ain't come from nothing, then you understand why people say they would rather 50 million and a championship. Because I care about being the best at what the gift God gave me. It would suck to play the game of basketball and never say you was the champion. You was never the best in the world. 50 million is enough for people who come from nothing. We know how to make that work. That 50 million is like 200 million to us. But it goes to show the people who struggled and the people who didn't struggle. Talking about, I'll take 100 million and championship. Nah, I'll take 50 million and that championship. But you're not a winner. You don't want to be the best. You just want to maintain and just go along. Nah, that's the difference between a lot of the champions and y'all. Yeah, y'all made y'all money, but y'all wasn't the best at nothing.
and I guess his point, and in the comments, a lot of people were saying, you know, like the Darren Williams situation, where people would rather take a guaranteed contract and not worried about winning a championship because ultimately they're providing for their family in the long run. And, you know, the NBA is not going to last forever. Not everybody could be LeBron James. Some other people brought up, you know, Giannis Antetokounmpo's brother who won a championship with the Lakers before Giannis and didn't play anything. Is he more valued than somebody who, like Giannis, who won his own championship, you know? So I guess the question for the both of y'all is, you know, should players aspire to win the chip, or should they focus on setting up their families and getting the most money out the NBA?
I feel like if you, I feel like your primary focus should be the championship, because just the fact that you made it to the NBA, your family is taken care of. You just, if that's really your motivation, don't be selfless, and that $50 million can take care of your family, like Steven Jackson said. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, 50 million is a lot of money. 50 million, like how my family finna eat off 50 million and 100 million ain't gonna be much different. You know what I'm saying?
I think if you focus on the championship, you're gonna get that money because you'll be the
And
best.
that's, yeah, I think that's kind of what I'm saying is, like, if you really to want to take care of your family, they're already taken care of. Your only focus should be the championship. That don't even make sense. You in the NBA, your family's taken care of. Don't buy cars and jewelry and be in the club being a motherfucking dickhead. Take care of your family and just play basketball. Be Scottie Pippen.
I get that to a certain extent. I guess I'll play devil's advocate. A lot of teams want players to sacrifice the money that they would accept so that they can win the championship, whereas these teams aren't sacrificing any of the profits that they're making. So I guess to the player who's like, you know what, I'm not going to kill myself for some championship just to be traded later. I'd rather get the maximum amount I can get from any team, because ultimately I may never win a championship unless every situation is aligned perfectly.
Well, what I'm trying to say is you got to do it like how they did Pat Mahomes. He immediately came in, and in the fourth year, or in the third, I think it was the third year of his 5-year deal, they extended him 10 years to keep him for 12. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you give him, and that was worth $500 million, and that was worth $500 million with incentives. So what you do is you give him that big bag off of a rip so that he taken care of. Because now when they ask him that and they be like, Pat Mahomes, how do you feel about being the 12th highest paid quarterback? He'd be like, bro, I got enough money. Like, money's not really the thing. I'm out here trying to win. So I understand that, but do you understand that he got that bag because he won a championship? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's like Dane said, if you really want that bag, you should be chasing the championship, because at the end of the day, like, how greedy is your family? Like, where do you really come from? How much money do you really need? You might not be able to save everybody, but bro, $50 million, bro, where you from? You know what I'm saying? Where you from?
Okay.
Where 50 million, 50 mil? What's this? Little 50 mil. Nigga, where is you from? Like,
I think that translates to every profession too. Like Bola, whatever, if you're in the lab doing chemistry, if you could learn from the best and become the best, you're gonna end up getting a lot of money one day. If I'm doing this healthcare marketing shit, if I want to work at the best company and some other bullshit company's giving me throwing a bunch of money my way. Uh-oh, baby emergency, my rant's done.
All right. let's get right into fantasy real quick, and we can end the show off.
Bola, how
I
you
want to say
doing?
I'm 2-0, possibly going up 3-0 this week.
So you saying you in third place?
Mm.
You feeling good? Feeling good, Bola?
Hey, I did my research. You know what I'm saying? I ain't been asking y'all for advice. I'm proud of myself. Just put that out there.
No, bro. Here's the thing. It only takes one season. That's what I was trying to tell somebody. I was like, bro, you do this shit one time and you'll be like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I'm building a team, and it's like, okay, who's gonna score? Whose defense is gonna play well that week? Like, it's not
Yeah.
rocket. Yeah.
I am looking forward to our week 4 matchup, Drew. Just so you know,
Oh, you are?
I got my eyes on it.
Well, you know who wait, that's in the reactor. It's in our little test league. That's the laboratory. Me and Dane got a laboratory matchup, but that's light. That's nothing serious.
Well, I already beat Dane. I didn't want to rub it in his face. I
You
beat
did?
him already this
He
season.
said you
It's
did?
okay.
I don't know. My team's is built for the late long run. I see you got a BD this week. Shout out to our newcomer trio of Dorian, BD, and Ken. Ken's in second, Bola.
Yeah.
I ain't scared, man. We go see.
He said why I got more points than him, but he in second. He said
Man, because last season y'all was telling me I wasn't scoring enough points. I'm looking at the points total this season. I'm like, I scored more points than Buddy, man. What's going on?
I'd say just watch out, Bola, because your number one wideout is Tyler Lockett. So that just doesn't sound good.
That doesn't sound good. It sounded good enough to beat your ass, though, right? It sounded good enough.
Oh my God, bro.
Everyone got their time in the sun, I guess.
You said what?
Right. Everyone got their time in the sun.
Okay. All right. We go see how it plays out.
I'm telling you right now, BD getting smoked. Unless Tyreek Hill do some crazy shit.
Holla.
Unless Tyreek Hill do some crazy shit, yeah.
Amy playing David Sam. Shout out to that game. Looks like she might have the edge there. So Amy's my mom for all our listeners out there. She's a football fanatic.
And Reggie silver medalist as well. Oh, Darren Waller. That's not a good start, but she'll be all right.
Before we go, shout out to our sponsors, Iodine Travel, Gold Standard Farms. I'm not going to share anything today, but just want to give them a shout out. For more information, stay tuned. We're going to keep this episode nice and short. Any last words before we end, fellas?
Oh, man, appreciate y'all time. Y'all have a good one.
Likewise. Hit the subscribe button below.
Big facts.
No que la mission is poco, no be this man. I'm not the church on me, I can't just be that man. Don't tell you my dream, because you make my dream. I want to be on the
GFL.
GFL.
Shout out to all the trade rapers and fantasy.